No, you look strong.
I am. You want to feel my muscle? You want to feel my muscle?
No, you look strong though, Jimmy. What are you doing? Is it creatine?
No. I just push
Banana flavored hot stuff?
CM Punk, what's up, buddy?
Oh.
Hey. We're talking about supplements?
Hey, buddy.
No, you know what it was? Punk?
Jimmy looks so diesel. Hi, CM.
I look a little better than normal, and I'm wearing a very snug Kiss shirt. And Matt was noticing my physique, and he was talking to me about it. And I was trying to get him to feel my muscle because I'm proud of my physique. How you doing, buddy?
I'm cold. How are you?
Yeah, I guess. Where are you now? You in Milwaukee?
I am currently, yes.
And this is a shitty time to be in the Midwest. Do you ever regret not training down in Florida or maybe with out in Sacramento?
Yeah, every day.
Well, now, are you there full-time year-round, or are you kind of taking a little leave here and there, or are you in full-time training now?
No, I bounce back and forth. I got so many irons in a fire right now, so I'm like, when I'm not traveling or working on something else, I'm here. You know, I got to spackle and paint a new condo too as soon as I done training today. So yeah, I'm not full time in Milwaukee, but I'd say 75% of my time spent here.
Oh, nice! You and your wife got a new place.
Yes, we did.
Very nice.
And you're a handyman. You're able to do that. All the
No, not at all. Not at all.
I can't hammer. CM, I swear to you, I said it before. I cannot hammer a nail. I am so unmanly. I can't hang a picture. I'm really just. I'm not suited for much. But let me ask you something, CM. I'm sure you're getting asked it a lot. Are you looking to fight again? Are you hanging up the gloves? I mean, talk to me.
Oh God, I don't know. I haven't really put much thought to it. Duke asked me yesterday. He's like, "Hey, if they called you, would you fight again?" And my answer was yes. But you know, it's a situational thing, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I thought you would ask me that. I didn't have a prepared answer for you. I apologize.
No problem.
No, it's honest.
And I also want to ask you, because I know you're into this stuff like myself. Did you see the Spider-Verse with Spider-Man? You see that movie?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet. I'm kind of weird when it comes to animation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's real strange, and I've heard just the universal praise for it, but I still haven't gone to see it.
Okay, because I knew you were into comic books, so I'm sure you're looking forward to Endgame, because I'm sure you've seen Infinity War.
Very much so, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what it is about the animation thing. I don't know. There's like a disconnect there for me. I'm not into anime. I'm sure there's people out there that'll crucify me for that, but it's just one of those things, you know. I'm not into it.
Well, it's interesting just because a comic book is drawings and an animation. You'd think that'd be the logical, but maybe you like seeing the comic books brought to real life.
I don't know. Maybe a psychologist could explain that to me. I don't know. I'm a weird dude.
Hey, are you surprised too? Like your name comes up a lot because there's between WWE and UFC, there's been quite a crossover now, and some big stars. I mean, you were a huge star in WWE. You were a big pay-per-view draw when you came over to UFC. Brock Lesnar. Now Ronda has gone the other way and went back. I mean, are you surprised at kind of the increasing crossover?
No, I don't. I'm not surprised at it. I think, you know, in a lot of respects, people who work for WWE and fighters in the UFC are in the same business. You know, and there's different levels, and some people say it's a fight game. You know, Duke always says it's entertainment. You know, it's not necessarily who's the best fighter fighting, you know, the best fighter. I mean, look at the ranking system. That's just a mess. You know what I mean? But if you can get an entertaining fight, two guys, not even so much just talking trash, just somebody who's interested in fighting somebody else, like if they're big names, like those are the names that get the eyeballs, or that gets everybody's attention. Well,
did you feel, you know, because obviously you were a big name coming in. It was your first fight against Mickey Gall. Did you feel additional pressure? Not only is it your first UFC fight, but I mean, you're kind of coming in pretty high up on the card because you are who you are. So there's a lot of pressure added to that.
I didn't feel any pressure with that. You know, I guess I'm one of the few that crossed over. So like I've seen both sides, and, you know, I understand all criticism levied against me about being on a pay-per-view. But I've always said, like, well, I'll fight first on the prelims. I never gave a shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And when I was in WWE, you know, you start off coveting like that main event spot, and then you quickly realize, man, you know, the spot on the card to be is like right before intermission, so you can just like shower up and chill, and people just saw you, so then they walk the concourse, maybe they'll buy your merchandise, and you can just kind of chill the rest of the night or leave early, you know? I mean, so it's, I didn't really feel the pressure, so to speak. The pressure to win, yeah, but not pressure just because I was on a pay-per-view, not a prelim.
Okay. Now, your first fight in the UFC obviously didn't go the way you wanted, but the second fight you did get some more time in there. So, I mean, do you feel, the real question is, do you feel like your thirst is quenched? Wait. Did I say that right? Yes. Yeah, you did. Are you still like hungry to feel that, or did you get that out in your second fight?
No, I don't think I got it out. I don't know if you ever really do. I mean, if you like doing something and you're passionate about it, I don't know if it ever truly leaves. And as I say that, I realize, wow, I used to really love pro wrestling, and that completely fizzled out. So, I'm contradicting myself with my answer. But no. Yeah, I don't want to say what the future holds, but obviously, like, I don't want to be one of those guys that's just like chasing a W if it's not really realistic. But you know, you could deconstruct that last fight of mine, and I could always tell you that I'm better than I showed, if that makes any sense.
Sure. Hey, and Dana really criticized Mike Jackson after that. Did you feel that there was a criticism that he should have given him? Do you feel that he didn't fight you properly, or that he could have put you away faster? How did you feel about that?
I don't know. I don't know what the real criticism was. I don't know. What's the criticism? That I'm a scrub and he should have beat me and he was like fucking with me, or like I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that.
No, I don't think it was that you were a scrub. I don't think it was of saying that you were a bad fighter or shitting on you. Just that he was in a position at one point of doing more damage and just didn't do it. I don't think it was a criticism of you as an overall fighter. Just in a moment where Mike Jackson had that position and didn't do what he should have done in that position.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what was going through Mike Jackson's mind. I mean, I know I was fighting, you know what I mean? And I was doing what I could to get from underneath, and I was rocked in the first round. And I know I look back at that second round and I'm like, man, I stayed in like closed guard for too long. I should have tried more shit.
Yeah. You know what, man? I think a lot, and I don't agree with a lot of that criticism of Mike Jackson, even though I know Dana was mad. I feel that you don't know how you're going to, I mean, I think it was his antics in there. He had a little either it was showboating and acting a little weird, but you know, that could be anxiety. It's just, he's fighting in front of a lot of people, man. He's fighting you and you're a big name. So I think if he was acting a little odd in there, you might have to chalk that up as a dude that's winning his second time in the biggest show on the planet. And the first time he got smoked, now he's in there with you. You know what I mean? So I could chalk that up as this guy just being under a magnifying glass and just being a little weird in there. You know what I mean? But hey, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I've never criticized. I've never criticized Mike. You know what I mean? Yeah. He got the win. He did what he was supposed to do. What am I going to say about it?
And the reason you're calling into is you're commentating for Cage Fury Fighting Championships. You're a color commentator. Now, I wanted to know, when you go to do something like this, is this your first time you've ever commentated?
No. Coming up on the 16th, this will be my second CFFC, and I guess you could call it, I've done commentary on a whole array of different sports stuff, the fake stuff and the real stuff.
Now, is it hard to do? Because I always, it sounds easy, but it's really not, because when you're watching something and you're not hearing anything and you're the voice, it seems like there's a lot of pressure to not identify, something wrong, or not to misidentify a move, or it seems like I would be terrified of fucking that up.
Well, I think you're only as good as your preparation. You know what I mean? And I prepare, and my partner Mike Gill, I think he prepared more than I did. Honestly, I thought he was great. I know some people criticize him and stuff like that, but you got to realize that he's not an MMA guy, and I'm there to call the action. You know what I mean? I'm there to explain stuff, and I like that the repertoire me and him have, because he can literally go, okay, what's going on here? What's up with this, Phil? And I can just call it like I see it. But I was way more nervous doing commentary for these guys fighting than I was in either of my fights. Like, legit. Like, I felt like it was my job to do right by these guys, and I know how hard they prepared, and I know how hard it is to get in there and fight. And I just didn't want to disrespect or, do them a disservice by, calling something wrong, pronouncing the name wrong, saying them from the wrong city. I was freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen from time to time as well. You're going to make a mistake. Now, you said they're criticizing your friend because your friend, the guy you work with, who will ask a question. But that seems like almost like Uriah Faber and Snoop Dogg when they did that thing. And Snoop kind of acted as the voice of people who were watching. So sometimes if one of the announcers like, what is this? There's a lot of people who probably really want to know what that is. So that's not a bad thing to have somebody going, hey, what is that move called? Because you don't want to take for granted that everybody watching knows every single thing that's happening.
Right, and that's kind of the responsibility I take into doing the commentary for CFFC. Like, I picture somebody maybe just tuning in based on my name. Oh, Punk's commentating. I like Punk. I'll watch it. And so, I feel a responsibility to the fighters and to the organization to explain everything and not just assume that everybody knows what a goga plata is or, a Peruvian necktie. I enjoy breaking it down and kind of explaining it to people.
You do enjoy it. You do it. Now, did you have to audition for that? Like, did they put a random fight on and say, okay, just be the commentator for this and we'll see what you have to say and how you do?
No, I'm sorry. I doubt it.
No, that was the best part. Dave Schaller, friend of mine, he's involved with CFFC now, just called me up one day and was like, hey, I want you to do commentary for me. And I said, okay.
Wow.
That was it.
Yeah. They run a nice show, though, for a smaller organization. They're one of the ones, because I cornered there before.
It's on Fight Pass, right?
Yes. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on February 16th, Jimmy. Okay. See that? I did my preparation.
You did?
Yeah. No, I didn't. It's up on the screen.
They run a great show, man. They got the lights and the production, and everything is on point. So when you watch it on Fight Pass, I mean, it feels like you're watching a UFC. It's just a smaller venue, less people, but the enthusiasm's there.
Now, have you made any mistakes like that you look back on and go, oh, shit, I should have done that fight a little bit better?
I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't recall any mistakes that I felt bad about. I felt bad about constantly asking the fighters before the fights, like, how do you pronounce your name? Like, there was some Russians and some Brazilians, and I was just like, I'm really nervous. I don't want to screw your name up. I don't want to be the dick who pronounces your name wrong. So I was following guys around for days, just saying, pronounce your name one more time for me. Pronounce it.
No, that's respectful. Annoying. Hey, isn't there something they have? I think the UFC has this, where there's a button you can push where you can hear the name pronounced by the fighter. Like Joanna and Jacek, they did a whole thing with her. And there's a way to find out what with the fighter pronouncing their name, and you can obviously just write it out phonetically.
I need that.
Oh, that's above our pay grade, I think.
Oh,
okay. That's the difference between UFC and CFFC. I don't have a pronunciation button.
UFC gets UFC gets a pronunciation button, and you get go ask him. He's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I always wondered how Bruce Buffer did it, because Bruce Buffer not only gets the names right, he does it without staring at his paper, and he gets the towns right, like where they're from. So I guess I think he said he just writes it out phonetically.
He's got to, and then it's just experience, right? He's done it for so long, and I mean, that'd be a good question. I should ask him that, like if he ever gets nervous about pronouncing somebody's name wrong.
Yeah, I've seen little mistakes he's made, not many, and it is what it is. Now, is this something you want to do full time as an announcer? Like, are you liking it so much that you're like, shit, I could see this? Because you see guys who are fighting like Cormier, Dominic Cruz, these active, Paul Felder, guys going out and doing commentating, and I think that it's really good guys who have fought are doing it, because that's cool. You want to hear from guys that have been in there before.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it lends a credence to the voice. Dominic Cruz is amazing.
Amazing.
Cormier is amazing. Yeah, Felder, amazing. and I think their experience in the cage, lends a credence to when they're calling the fights. I love it. And yeah, full time. Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to invite me to do some commentary on your shows. Hit me up. I would love to do it. I'm having the time of my life, honestly. Like I absolutely adore CFFC. Top-notch promotion. Everybody there was nice. Everybody there was cool. Fighters, backstage, production, owners, everybody, sponsors. Everybody was lovely. So I had the time of my life. I would be a fool to not say I want to do that more.
Now, is your wife still involved with WWE? I know that she's a huge star in that regard.
No. She left about a year after I did, and which is, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago now for her.
So are you guys kind of just having a lot of time to spend together? Like, or is she doing something else? Because, you were busy, obviously, training, but now that you're more a commentator, you guys finding a little bit more time just to kind of go out and do shit you want to do?
Yeah, we get to hang out a lot more. And I think that was one of the big reasons for the both of us leaving in the first place. But yeah, she's a writer, so she's always hard at work, but she works from home, and then I get to travel every once and again, and I get to train. It's a good life, and then we get to hang out with each other. When we're sick of each other, we don't got to be in each other's faces. I'll go to the gym, and she'll go to her office. Now,
you have a condo you just bought. Now, you said you're going to spackle and paint. Now, is it a fixer-upper, or is it just need a coat of paint?
No, it's not a fixer-upper. I don't even want to paint it. My wife wants to paint it, so I got to paint it. That's the way it is.
And you don't want to hire someone to do that? I mean, maybe me. I'm a beta male in real life and in the home. I don't do anything physical, but obviously you're qualified. You don't want to just hire someone to do it?
No, it's not that big of a condo, it's not a big deal to me. I don't want people in my house, you know what I mean?
Really?
So if I can do stuff, people bother me, so if I can do anything, but I can't fix a toilet, you know what I mean? So hopefully the toilets work. But yeah, I don't mind painting. I hired people to paint my house in Chicago one time, and it turned into a giant clusterfuck. So I'm scared now.
So do you look like one of the fucking most boggling things to me is Airbnb? I'm like, how the fuck does anybody let anyone come and stay in their house? That would make me crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah, if there's a house you live in, yeah, completely weird, right? Like you want to take like a black light and then a blowtorch to everything after the people leave, right?
It's very similar to what I said the other day. You don't know what's going on in that room. It's
Well, neither do they before I left it.
That's true,
well,
Jim.
What about the other perspective? If I get an Airbnb somewhere, how do I know that these people don't got cameras in the toilet, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I'm a weird paranoid dude like that. Like I'd just be freaked out.
100%. No, I feel the same way. Now, CM, are you training now or no? Currently?
Yeah, I'm in the car in the parking lot of the gym right now. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to go throw the gi on.
So, I like that a lot. I was about to ask you that. What is your preference? Now, you have to train one thing. I mean, I'm sure you like everything, but you have to hit the Thai pads. It's, let's say, kickboxing, boxing, or jiu-jitsu. What's your go-to? What do you enjoy the most?
I like gi. And it changes. I'm sure you understand that. You go through phases, you know what I mean? And but for me right now, it's gi. You know what I mean?
Man.
Because it's like,
if you're ever,
I'll come. Trust me, I'll come see you.
Yes,
it's only a matter of time. You'll see me.
Oh, that's great, man.
But yeah,
I love that.
I just love the gi. Yeah, I love it. There's something about it, and it's like when I train. We do pro practice or sparring. I'm training with fighters and stuff like that. But there's a different kind of training when you can train with civilians who are doing it for fitness. You can train with people who just do jiu-jitsu competition. So the varying degrees of skill level and everything in a gi class, I'm so in love with it.
Yes, I'm right there with you, man. I don't know if it's my age or anything with that, because a lot of the younger guys just love the no gi and they love the leg locks, which is awesome. I see it. They're having such a good time.
But they're fighting, though. Gi is more practical in real life. You're not going to get attacked by a guy on the subway wearing no shirt. He's going to have clothes on.
Well, you never know. It could be. At the same time, though, you don't want to look for a gi that's not there. So it's important to do both, to know both. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I never once looked for a collar that wasn't there. In other words, I know that you could easily change the collar to the neck and whatnot.
You can.
But it is a lot of fun, though, Jimmy.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah,
it.
you're going to get started any day
Yes,
now.
I will.
Can't wait.
I'm getting in shape. All right, Punk. Good talking to you, man. And hey, when you're in New York, come in and see us, and then come see us on the radio show too. I would love to get your opinion on Sam Roberts' shitty beard. We've all had enough of it.
That's awesome.
He has a beard now?
Thank you. That's exactly the response that deserved. He looks like a muppet.
I haven't.
He looks like a Muppet.
I haven't heard that guy's name. I haven't heard that guy's name in a long time. I thought he was dead. And I'll be honest with you.
Oh, that's fucking great. That's Jimmy's partner in the radio. That's great.
The joy you just brought everyone.
You got to play that for him.
I will. Looking forward to seeing you again, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Take
All
care.
right. Take care, buddy.
Take care, Punk. Now, that was fucking great. You should play that for him.
Oh, I will. Can you get a copy of that?
Yeah.
That would make me
Yes.
so happy.
Make sure you play that for him. I think
thought he
that's
was dead.
phenomenal. I thought he was dead. Guys, fucking, that is hysterical. What else was I going to say, Jimmy? Because you could read my mind.